this is the big ache and clean water going on to 15 by 11 Fabriano Watercolour Paper. This is the large Ron Ransonite brush. I'm going to start off with what shall I do? I'm doing ultramarine and a bit of Payne's grey. I want to sort of try and get a real sort of light bit coming down the middle. Let's do that same thing again. Just dipping the tips in just to keep the hairs together on the brush. Right, let's just introduce a little bit of colour into it, I think. A bit of raw sienna. Raw sienna, a bit of lemon yellow as well. There's going to be a lot of trees, so I want to get that sort of green feel to it all. So I'm just going lemon yellow. I ain't cleaning the brush. And then I'm going to bit of this, bit of that. And let's just put a few little sort of trunks up there and a bit dark, I think, a bit more blue. There's just a few tree trunks there going up and down. A few over there, a few on the other side. Just using a chisel edge, just like that. Just enough water to keep the keep all the hairs together like so. A few more on this side. Then once it's dried, I'll put some more in. Some more closer ones. This is all the distant stuff first. Maybe a few there in the light. More on this side. Right. A few bushes and stuff scattered about. I'll clean the brush, so I want to keep that nice and light, that bit there in the middle. Just very weak mix there. Right. Paper stretched a bit, so I'm just going to pull it tight so there's a flat surface to work with again. And then a bit more grass. Coming forward slightly, so I want a stronger mix, raw sienna, lemon yellow, and then it's just getting a bit of ultramarine in there, here and there, just to vary the green a bit. Right, for a few more actually first. Just bits of grass here and there. There's also a few load of bluebells in this foreground, so it's just a sort of general bluebelly colour. I'm just going to wet that a bit there in the middle. And there we go. Put some tree trunks in. I'm doing burnt umber, ultramarine. Now because that background's dried a bit, this should go on a bit stronger. So you can see how these look a lot closer to us now. Sort of contrast them to the ones in the distance. Just enough water on the brush to get that chisel edge. This one's a bit nearer. The one's still there. And this one's sort of coming over. You can ride across the lighter area now, so. Do some on the other side. There's one that's sort of fallen over on the ground here and it's sort of doing up something like that. So you don't have to use the rigger if you don't want. Once you've got the chisel edge on the hake, you can do some really nice, very thin strokes. Let's do a few. A few on this side. There's a whole stack of trees on this side now. And again, don't be afraid, don't do them all in parallel lines. You know, cross a few over like this. Some go off in front of one another and they go in all sorts of directions. So, you know, this one always looks most effective where you sort of go straight across the light, so it sort of goes sort of like that. Keep reloading your brush. Just enough water to keep the hairs together. And a big one down there. It's off at a funny angle. That's enough of that, I think. Let's get a few more of these. Actually, a bit of lemon yellow. Get this nicely coloured grass in. Just various shades of green as I work my way down. The Payne's grey to really sort of darken it up. Yeah. Clean the brush. Let's get a few bluebells in, just general. I'm going to paint every single one. I'm just doing a general alizarin crimson, ultramarine, just that nice sort of bluey purpley colour. And then just sort of I'm just going to do that bit. I'm just going to put a little path in here, I think. And just sort of light red, ultramarine blue. Let's put a bit of that alizarin crimson in there as well. And just make a sort of twisty, windy path. Something like that. Clean the brush. Let's just push that green grass right up to the path. And same on the other side. Some darker areas in. Obviously the darker you make the sides, the lighter it's going to look. The parts adjacent to it, really dark. These areas, it's like sort of shadow areas, and then you've got your lighter bits. Just define that path a bit. And I'll just give it a quick dry now, don't do anything else. Give it a quick pull. Just get it stretched. And what I'm going to do is just going to dry the brush, clean it dry, and then just scuff all the hairs up like that. Have to loosen that up a bit. Just go into that raw alizarin crimson, and then I've just squeezed a bit of white gouache out on the tray. I don't normally use it, I'm just experimenting really, just see what it looks like. What now? Let's just see what these look like. Just sort of little blue bells. A few more over this side. Do with a bit more gouache. I've sort of used it all up, but I think I'll just leave it at that for now, really. I think that'll do. I'm just going to switch to the rigger, and then a couple of figures, I think, just walking off into the distance. Let's just do what shall I do? Sort of just say one up there, and then just another one right next to him. Just put them together like that. A few little birds there. And then last but not least, pop your signature in the corner. No, I think I'll call that one finished. So let's see what it looks like with the mount on. So here's our painting with the mount on. So let's go in and have a closer look at it. Now what I was conscious of right from the onset was preserving this sort of lighter area down the middle. And then you can just about see the first few trees I put in. At the same time as the sky. You can see how they fade right off into the background, and then how once you've let the background dry and put the foreground trees in, the way that brings them right forward and pushes the distant stuff even further back. I wanted to make this side and the other side as sort of dark as possible to contrast against the light. And you sort of keep the light coming down along the path right to the foreground. You can see I haven't sort of done the shadow from each individual tree trunk. I've sort of just done shadows en masse on both sides, and then getting these darker shadows in again really contrasts against the light in the distance. If you remember how we suggested these flowers, I just used a very dry scuffed up hake. So the hairs are going sort of randomly all over the place. Then used a bit of gouache, a bit of alizarin crimson, ultramarine, just to paint in these flowers. You can see our path leads right through the forest to our little figures there walking off, again silhouetted against the light. Our little birds in the trees also help bring a bit of life to the painting. Thanks for watching. This, as well as all the other paintings, are available on eBay for anyone who's interested in purchasing. Keep practicing, and I'll see you again soon.